Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Every time I think I've seen it all, Death Battle continues to surprise me, and I did not expect this at all. So for those of you that have been following, I recently posted that just the other day on Twitter, I came to find out that I had been blocked by Death Battle on Twitter. Something that I honestly find hilarious, because for so many years I always had to listen to Death Battle fans tell me that Death Battle doesn't know who you are, you're a tiny hater channel and they don't know about you, and even if they did, they don't care. Well, evidently they do know about me, and I always found it highly unlikely that they were not aware of my existence on some level, especially when you consider there was a couple-year period where I was dealing with near constant false copyright claims being thrown at me back when they worked under Rooster Teeth, which was always annoying, and I would always have to constantly fight their claims and tweet at them on Twitter. Now, what's interesting about this is, speaking of Rooster Teeth, I've been blocked by, other big YouTube channels before. I once got into a disagreement with Team 4-Star, got blocked by them on Twitter. Once got into, not once, but I got into multiple arguments and disagreements with Rooster Teeth, and I'm pretty sure those guys blocked me at a certain point as well, because I would keep beating their little claims and calling them out on their BS. But this is a first for me. Another reason why I find it funny is, if you follow my videos a long time, you would know that I have posted this interview between Chad James and Ben Singer, where they were asked about what they think about all the people that make videos about them, and they tried to say we don't mind if people make videos about us, it's cool, as long as they're talking about us, just spread the word. And of course, Ben the whole time had to act like a know-it-all that legitimately thinks that they're never wrong. Now, that could have just been a little tongue-in-cheek joke, Ben Singer being a little sarcastic and ironic. Possible, but given what we know Death Battle to be, I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Singer actually thinks that he's never been wrong before. But that's neither here nor there. So it's starting to look like that interview is now bullshit, because apparently Death Battle does take issue with people that call them out. And I would tweet at Death Battle a lot, as well as Chad James and Ben Singer. Sometimes I would tweet at them ideas. Sometimes I would just respond to whatever new project they had in the works. And sometimes I would tweet at them, calling them out on their BS. I don't at all find it coincidental that very shortly after I made that video calling out Ben Singer for the whole Buffy thing and showing that he's out of touch with the fans, literally not even a day or two later, I guess Ben must have saw that video or something, because lo and behold, I get blocked by Ben Singer as well. Now, I don't know if Chad James has blocked me, or Liam, or Brandon Yates, but so far I've been blocked by Ben and Death Battle. Now, what is this supposed to achieve? I don't know. Does Death Battle really think that this is gonna get rid of me or make me stop making content about them? Because that's not going to happen. I mean, this is kind of my whole thing after all. And at the end of the day, whether Death Battle accepts it or not, I am very necessary. I complete them in a way. I am the opposite balance of whatever they are. And I try to help keep balance between everything, because Death Battle always has to come at everything with their fake, corporate, faux-friendly, over-positivity about anything, where it just kind of comes off as disingenuous. And it's come on. Tell us what you actually think, Death Battle. And of course, they almost never do it. That's one reason why I always respected Torian, because he at least had the balls to speak his mind every once in a while. And I'm the exact opposite of that. I'm very blunt, I'm very strong in my convictions, and I ain't gonna bullshit you. I'm just gonna tell you exactly what I think. Plain and simple. But not with Death Battle. They will be disingenuous, they will lie, they will make crap up, whatever it takes to get their point across. And I don't know why they decided to choose until now to block me. And it just makes me wonder, like, what is Death Battle going to do when and if I ever get Blood Royale off the ground? Because I'm not just here to, like, criticize Death Battle and talk about Death Battle. I want to be a legitimate competitor to Death Battle someday. And that's what I want to be able to achieve with Blood Royale. So who knows what will happen when that day comes. And it's just kind of sad because I guess Death Battle is no different than their fans, apparently, because whenever I criticize Death Battle, here will come the fans, they'll call me a hater, they'll call me an asshole, and then they usually inevitably block me at some point. I remember not too long ago on Twitter, I tried posting a couple of replies under the Death Battle community Twitter page, and then like 5 or 6 Death Battle fans hounded me, and pretty much every single one of them blocked me shortly afterwards. So, I don't know. What I do know is I find this hilarious, and again, I'm going to keep doing it because contrary to what people think, I don't hate Death Battle. I'm not out to get Death Battle. I'm really not. I truly do like Death Battle. Yeah, I don't always see eye to eye on certain things when it comes to Death Battle, but that's fine. That's kind of the whole point of Death Battle. It's supposed to be a debate. Now, if Death Battle was better at settling these debates once and for all, rather than leaving them open-ended, we'd maybe have less debates instead of more, but I guess it just is what it is sometimes. And I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts on this because truthfully, I see this as a little bit weak from my point of view. Because while I do like Death Battle, I don't always like some of their behavior. My philosophy always is, I don't hate the sinner, I hate the sin. And this just comes off as, you know, Death Battle just must have put on some false bravado when they did that interview because I guess maybe they're a little bit more insecure or maybe they're a whole heck of a lot more prideful than I thought. Either that or maybe Death Battle just lives in an echo chamber, who the heck knows. Either one is likely. We know the Death Battle fans constantly ride their dick, and I know that because I used to be one of those Death Battle dick riders. I always tell the story that there was once a time in my life where I would watch like every video Death Battle ever put out, no matter what. Frickin' Desk of Death Battle, one of the Death Battle casts, I would watch every video that would come out. I would always like mindlessly praise every little thing Death Battle did, to the point where I remember one time my older brother, annoyed by my fanboyism, told me that I would probably suck Death Battle's dick if I could. That's literally how bad it was. That's how I know so much about how these Death Battle fans think. And it looks like Death Battle isn't any better than the fans, but then again, fans can often be a reflection of the things that they are fans of. And I don't at all find it, again, coincidental that most of my fans are made up of disgruntled Death Battle fans that are just frustrated with some of Death Battle's behavior or frustrated by Death Battle lying and screwing over characters. And it really is disappointing because I'm legitimately here trying to help Death Battle. And I made a video talking about this, how I noticed that once Death Battle started taking my advice, they started to improve. And Death Battle has improved in a lot of areas, but they still have a long way to go. So clearly, what I'm doing is actually helping Death Battle to some extent. And rather than just playing along, Death Battle would rather shut me out. And I just think that's so sad, because I don't block people because they disagree with me, or even if they are a naysayer. Like, as long as they're not being like a piece of garbage or trying to like legitimately hurt me, like, I let people speak their mind. I think it's important, and I always encourage my audience, please give me criticism. I always want to know how I can be better. And there's been plenty of times where people have come to my comment section and either called me out on something I was wrong about or informed me about something, and I said, thank you, I did not know that, or thank you, that was very helpful. Like, I don't understand why Death Battle can't do that. Like, you think that Death Battle would maybe just like enjoy the little rivalry between me and them and just have fun with it, and maybe consider checking out my videos every once in a while and hearing what I have to say. Because while I don't claim to be right about everything, when I am right, I am right. But who knows? Now, of course, don't think this means that this is the end of me versus Death Battle. It's not. Like I said, I'm gonna keep making videos, I'm gonna keep making reviews, and if Death Battle thinks that I hate them, or Death Battle's fans think that I hate them, they're free to think that, just like how they're free to think that Aizen can beat Madara in a fight, Blade can lose to Buffy, and all that crap, but it doesn't really make it true, you know? And if there's one thing I've learned, is that maybe Death Battle legitimately just lives in their own little world sometimes, where they just create their own reality of things. Who the heck knows? I mean, sometimes becoming big and famous can do things to people, and I was hoping that maybe what happened with the whole Rooster Teeth dying and them almost getting bought out by Warner Bros. Humbled them, but now I'm not sure it humbled them as well as I thought back when I made that meditation video. Who knows? But what I do know, Death Battle, is when I make Blood Royale, you better be ready, because I'm going to be bringing the heat, and then the rivalry between us is going to get even more intense. Because like I said, I legitimately love what I do. Just like you love making Death Battle, I love making my videos. And like I mean, all joking aside, I legitimately do this for fun. And there are just times where Death Battle and the Death Battle fans, like the meme I posted, said every time I try to do something fun, you make it not fun. And I don't understand why it has to be that way. Like, yes, I poke fun at Death Battle a lot. I make a lot of memes at their expense. It's all in good fun. Like I've said before in disclaimers and countless other videos, don't take everything so seriously. Like, it's funny that Death Battle fans will tell me not to take things so seriously, but then they'll take anything that I say, even the slightest joke at Death Battle's expense, to heart. And they'll act like I just went up and like punched Death Battle in the face or lit their car on fire or something. I don't know. And I'm not even really mad at Death Battle. Like I said, I mostly just find this to be funny and just the next step in our rivalry. And maybe Death Battle is doing this to play up the drama. If so, well played, Death Battle, and I will continue to respond in kind. Because not too long ago, I was talking to my brother, and he told me something that I found fascinating. He said, man, I wish I was like you. I wish I had like naysayers and a rivalry and stuff like that, like what I have with Death Battle and the Versus community. He wishes he had all that because it helps him feel more fulfilled in his life. It makes it feel like there's more challenge. And I can absolutely understand where he's coming from, because as I have said before, Death Battle completes me in a way, and I have a lot of fun doing what I do, and that's why I love hyping things up between me and Death Battle, because again, it's fun and it also offers some challenge for me. Some people ask me like, oh, what's the point of making all these debunking videos? They're so stupid. Death Battle just does this for fun. Why are you taking it so seriously? Well, you just answered your own question. I do what I do for fun, and I do what I do because people are entertained by what I do. If people were not entertained by what I did, then I would have never became the Death Battle review guy. But all the way back in 2015, when I started making videos, I tried making other videos about various different topics, video games, anime, politics. Some of my first videos were a combination of like anime top 10 lists, video game playthroughs, and political discussions. And it wasn't until I started making videos about Death Battle that I found my audience, and I found what people want to come to me for, and I found what I'm good at. Regardless of what you think, if you disagree with me about my thoughts on Death Battle, that's fine. I welcome it. But what I become frustrated by is when Death Battle and Death Battle fans seem to act like I'm out to get them. When I made that little tongue-in-cheek joke about Death Battle being my Joker to my Batman, that was all in good fun. That was just me being playful. That's all. But, you know, that's just kind of my thoughts on that. Again, a video I wasn't expecting to ever have to make, but let me know what you think about all of this, of Death Battle blocking me. Do you think that Death Battle is weak for this? Do you think that Death Battle is just doing this for fun? Do you think that Death Battle is legitimately upset with me? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys around next time.
Sometimes I feel a voice in my head saying the world is dead and the state in my bed. I know my friends are alive, so I will try and